Look how pathetic they are. I don't have time for these humans.
Shadow. As you can see, the day of reckoning will soon be here. Find the 7 Chaos Emeralds and bring them to me as promised.
Huh? Who are you, and how do you know I'm Shadow? And what are you talking about? Just what was that all about? If he says he knows the truth about who I am, then like it or not, I have to believe him. The only way I'm gonna get the secrets to my past is to get those Chaos Emeralds. What's going on with me? I can't get these images out of my mind. Those black creatures. How do they know me? Who was I before this? Where's that damn 4th Chaos Emerald? I am Shadow the Hedgehog, a research experiment gone deadly wrong. I've caused so much destruction. I should never have been created. This is who I am.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to the Shadow the Hedgehog game review. And for this review, I'm going to try something different here. Any game that has cinematic cutscenes, I'm going to let the cutscenes play first, and then we'll get to the actual review so you get a clear understanding of what you're getting yourself into when you play this game. And they'll give a better explanation of the game rather than me explaining the painfully obvious. But yes, after seeing all those cutscenes, yes. So apparently Shadow the Hedgehog, apparently, he has a debt to pay to Black Doom, who is in charge of the Black Arms, who are this game's main antagonists. But then again, when you play this game, anybody can be honestly an antagonist, because for this game, you could actually be a good guy, a bad guy, or you could be neutral. And hell, you could be like Roman Reigns. You could say, I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy. Like, if you understand what I'm saying, go watch that promo from the night after WrestleMania 32, I believe. The night he won the World Championship. You'll get a clear understanding of how hated he was that night. But yes. So yes, in Shadow the Hedgehog, you have there's so many paths. You could choose to be either a villain or a good guy, or be neutral. And a lot of the stages reflect on that. Like right now in Westopolis, if you just grab the Chaos Emerald, you took the neutral path. And Westopolis, by the way, you play that stage 10 fucking times. In order to get all the exits, because there are a total of 80 exits in this game. If you want to get to final story, like, damn, that's a lot to do. But yes, but Shadow the Hedgehog, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I love this game. It's really good. I'm not gonna lie. You may think, like, are you crazy? Like, this game is bashed by everybody. Well, hear me out. This game is not as bad as people make it out to be, because this game controls like Sonic Heroes, which I love. You know, the game is playable, unlike 06. I'm being brutally honest about that. And some of the soundtrack is really good. Like Digital Circuit's actually one of my favorite soundtracks. It's really catchy. It has that. It has that Genesis twang to it. Like when we get to this part right here, the song right here. You know, it's like if you feel like you hear part of the Sega Genesis twang in there, like to the classic games. That's cool. And Shadow the Hedgehog is really a good game. I'm not gonna lie, because there's plenty to do in this game. Yeah, suck it, Forces, because your game can be beaten in less than 2 hours. You have nothing to do, and you only have one save file. If you want to start over with a new avatar, you would have to delete your file or pay for it, I believe. I don't know. I don't think they make you pay for it. You just have to delete your old profile, which is fucking stupid. But I love the level. The Shadow the Hedgehog. The one thing they got right is the level design. Like, there's so many different levels you could go through depending on the path you chose, and I honestly wish these levels were just included regardless of what path you chose. Like, you have Digital Circuit, you have Sky Troops, you have Westopolis, and of course you got other levels. Like, in one level you're flying, you know, in high in the skies, and another level you're inside a government computer base, basically breaking the internet at Digital Circuit, which is really cool. And of course, here in Shadow the Hedgehog, you get mechs. Of course, they're not forced down your throat like in Sonic 06, where a lot of those mech levels are forced down your throat. Here, they're more strategic. You know, they're not forced down your throat. You get choose to use them if you want, but some of them can be very fun. And of course, there are other fun levels too. Like my personal favorite is Lava Shelter, where Shadow the Hedgehog is the best game when it comes to rail switching, rail grinding in general, because all you gotta do is hold the X button to gain momentum and just hold the D-pad left, right, or stay in the middle to switch rails without falling through the edge. Yes, Shadow the Hedgehog got rail grinding right, where everybody else got it wrong. Yes, Sonic Adventure 2's rail grinding was great. I mean, you have to hold the B button to gain momentum, but switching rails can be finicky because you got to hold the D-pad. But in this game, they got it right spot on. Like, there's no flaws. All you gotta do is just, yeah, there's no penalty for switching rails. You don't careen off the edge like in Sonic Forces. And I hate those rail switching sections in Sonic Forces because you get boost, try to jump, and you fall off the edge. And of course, you got fun levels like, you know, Lava Shelter. Then of course, you have Iron Jungle. Like, there's so many levels here. I really wish all the levels, you know, we could access all the levels without, you know, being a good guy or a bad guy or staying neutral. You know, that's kind of a drawback for me, but you get to access those levels regardless, but you gotta do specific amount of missions, like destroy this amount of enemies, or destroy this amount of gun soldiers, or find keys, or CDs, or switches, things like that. It's basically playing similar to Team Chaotix's mechanic in Sonic Heroes, but, you know, it's fun exploration. You know, a lot of these levels are not gonna be beat, you know, in less than 2 minutes. You know, like in Forces, so, you know, it's fun. And the one thing that a lot of people really do bring a negative about this game is the Shadow is using guns. Like, first of all, what is the problem? I mean, I love the gun mechanic. I think it's cool. I mean, I'm surprised SEGA actually got that right. Now, remember, this game, you know, this was Yuji Naka's project, so obviously anything he creates, you know, of course it's going to be done right. And unfortunately, I believe this was his last game he created while working for SEGA, because I don't know if he was involved in Sonic 06, probably not. Maybe he was, maybe, I'm not sure. I know Iizuka had control of that game, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but this was Yuji Naka's last project, I believe, at least to me. Because this, to me, you know, was the last we had the adventure formula, not counting 06, because that game is atrocious, and we shouldn't really include it, but oh well, we have to. But to me, this game is just so good. You know, I enjoy every second of it. A lot of the levels do drag on, just like in 06. But, you know, they're fun. And some of the soundtrack, you know, it's really good. You know, not all the soundtracks are going to be rock and roll or Crush 40, this and that. Sometimes you get peaceful, you know, music like you do in Lost Colony. You know, where you got to destroy a lot of enemies. I know it's tedious. And, of course, you have Maria by your side. Which is cool. You know, it shows the Shadow does have a heart. He does have a gentle spot, you know, he's not all evil, he's not a dick, you know. He's just misunderstood because he doesn't know who he is, he wants answers to his past, and obviously after the events of Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes, you know, this game, you know, basically gives you all the answers. Yeah, but I enjoy the levels to what they're at. You know, the level design is done right, suck on that, Forces, and I don't mind the story. Yes, the story is dark and edgy. Yes, I said it, and I know all the edge comments are gonna come, so go ahead. I kind of enjoy them. At least Shadow the Hedgehog is it's a fun game. You know, it basically crosses Mega Man X6 territory, where it's a game you want to play. It's a guilty pleasure kind of game. You know, you have all these, you know, these catchphrases, these you know, Shadow's one-liners, the classic, you know, 4th Chaos Emerald. That's always gonna be a classic meme. Always. And of course, you know, but the one thing that I gotta take into account is, how's the gameplay with the guns? Oh, they're excellent. You get different weapons. You get traditional guns, whether it's the 9mm, or lasers, swords, or even a stick. Yes, you can pick up a stick and use it as a weapon, and it counts as ammo. Like, what the fuck? But overall, I love the level design in this game. There's so many paths you could take. You know, this is the kind of level design we need brought back, like ASAP. You know, like, boosting is not always the answer, because when you boost so many times, you're gonna show a lot of flaws. You know, you're gonna skip a lot of the levels, and when you boost, unfortunately, the levels don't branch out. It becomes linear, because you're doing the same thing over and over again, where if you use the adventure formula, you can take different paths to find goodies, or find alternate shortcuts. Or you can find some shortcuts where you have a lot of enemies, but you gotta do more platforming. Or vice versa, but I don't mind it. And the boss fights in this game, they're unique. They're challenging for the most part, and they bring a challenge, and I do like that. They're not piss easy. And the enemies, depending on if you're playing as a good guy or a bad guy, you know, if you're playing as a bad guy, working for the Black Arms, obviously your main objective is to betray your friends. But I'll talk more about that in a few seconds. And of course, we have the boss fights. You fight Eggman so many times because he's upset because the Black Arms are destroying the city, and of course for Eggman, if there's no city, he can't rule it. So for Eggman, the boss fights are self-explanatory. You have the Egg Breaker, and of course you have the Egg Dealer, probably the stupidest boss fight ever invented. Because Eggman basically damages himself. It's kind of dumb, but whatever. And you get to use guns and cannons against Eggman. It's kind of fun, it's satisfying, after all the crap we have to deal with him. And of course you have Black Doom. You fight him and his minions. You know, you fight the Black Bull. They're unique boss fights, some kick-ass music, and of course you fight Devil Doom, the final version of Black Doom. It's a cool boss fight with a really kick-ass music. I love this version of the final boss theme. It's really cool. Like, seriously, man, I would prefer this boss fight over Solaris. Not for the music, but for the way you fight this damn thing, because fighting Solaris is a pain in the ass. The first phase, the second phase, you have a short ring count, and of course, because Silver's flat out useless in that fight. Shadow and Sonic, you know, they should have been the ones to handle it, but whatever. Silver's the newcomer, we gotta put him over, but whatever. Who am I to complain? Yeah, so the Double Doom boss fight's really cool. I love the music here. It's just so kick-ass. Like, seriously, that's another thing. Bring Crush 40 back, damn it. Enough of these crappy songs from Forces. You know, I love orchestral music here and there, but bring Crush 40 back, damn it. Like, seriously, man. Any music those guys create is gold. Yeah. Yeah, so my final thoughts on this game is Shadow the Hedgehog is a fun game to me. Now, I can't vouch for anybody, because a lot of people have had bad experiences, but hear me out. If you're playing Shadow the Hedgehog, play the GameCube version of the game. The game runs at 60 frames per second. It has better control, because the GameCube controller is the best controller to play this game. And the visuals look a lot more pleasing than the PlayStation 2 version. I understand a lot of people's bad experience was because they played the PlayStation 2 version, because obviously a lot of people had more PlayStation 2s. The GameCubes. So obviously the PS2 version, is the worst version because it runs at 30 frames. Terrible lighting effects. Same thing with Heroes. That's why those games suffered, because they had 30 frames as opposed to 60 frames. And you're probably wondering, does that make a difference? Absolutely. With these with the gameplay and the difficulty curve, yeah, those frames do matter. So if anything, if you're gonna play this game, play the GameCube version, please. I trust me, you have a better experience playing this game than Sonic 06 or Sonic Forces combined, honestly. There's plenty to do in this game. The side missions, I know some of them can be tedious and annoying, but at least it's something different and offers something, new. I know Forces added Episode Shadow, but that really doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. It's just a cheap tactic to keep players interested, because they had no other ideas. 4 years to develop a terrible game like that, and I fear what's going to happen, for the upcoming Sonic game if nothing was announced at the time of this recording. And for me, the And yeah, a lot of people criticize Shadow for using guns, but yet you all praise for the OC and Sonic Forces for using a Wisp-On as a weapon. Like, come on, grow the fuck up. Like, seriously. It's 2019. Enough of this already. Stop bashing this game for its gun mechanic. It was something new. Alright? I know a lot of people say this is the dark age of Sonic games, but so what? This was more of a Shadow game than a Sonic game, honestly, so this is more of a spin-off game. But to me, I enjoy this game. I really do. You know, and say whatever you want about the voice acting. I love the voice acting. Alright? It's for kids, okay? Some people don't like the 4Kids voice acting, but I love them. Like, seriously, they're a hell of a lot better than the voice actors we have now. At least they show emotion to the damn characters. Like, seriously, like, the current voice actors we have right now, they show no emotion towards the characters. And to me, you know, emotion matters. Like, damn it, put some effort into it. Roger Craig Smith. Damn, you just act like a total douche, like you don't care. Like, seriously, put some feeling into it. You know, and kudos to Jason Griffith for voicing Shadow the Hedgehog 2. He voices Sonic 2. I actually prefer his voice as Shadow in this game, honestly, compared to future games. You know, in Forces, I don't know who voiced Shadow, but seriously, I did not like the voice whatsoever. He sounded too dark. Like, what the hell? You know, I didn't mind his voice in Adventure 2 was pretty damn good, but in Shadow the Hedgehog through Black Knight, he did a damn good job. So, yeah, so for Shadow the Hedgehog, you know, I really do enjoy the game. I honestly really would recommend you play this game for the GameCube if you can. You know, there's ways to play this game. So my final verdict on this game is, honestly, for me, I'm gonna give this game a 7.5 out of 10. I think I may be crazy saying that, but I'm brutally honest. I enjoy this game every second of it. You know, I let's play this game. Last year. I had a blast with this game. You know, I honestly thought I was gonna hate it, but I don't. It's a fun game to play. It plays like Sonic Heroes, which is my favorite Sonic game. It has and the mission objectives are similar to, you know, Team Chaotix. You know, a lot of people may not like that, but oh well. It's better than boosting and finishing a level in less than 2 minutes. But still, it's something different. It's a different experience. So if you had a bad experience before in the past, please play this game on the GameCube. Play the GameCube version of this game, and you'll have a better time playing this game than Sonic Forces and Sonic 06. I promise you. All right. Now, the soundtrack may not be that great, but, you know, they have some memorable tracks here and there. So, for me, those are my final thoughts. You know, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. If you have different thoughts, leave them in the comments section below, and I hope you'll enjoy. Alright, later.